Week 12 of the fantasy basketball season, and here's a few centers I look to buy and trade for this week. The first center, Brook Lopez, the Milwaukee Bucks. Brook Lopez, another solid season for the most part, and he's fit this Buck team over the last few years pretty well. 12.5 points a game, 5.1 rebounds, 1.4 assists, 1.6 threes, and 47% from the field. But the last couple weeks, the numbers have taken a little bit of a drop off. His field goal percentage in scoring 11 points a game, 6 boards, 1.4 assists, 2.7 blocks, and 41% from the field. So we know Lopez isn't that great of a rebounder at the center position, and especially with Giannis over there, where he's getting 11, 12 boards per ball game. But the blocks per game is great for Lopez. He's a good three-point shooter as well at his position, but I think he could get a little bit more out of Lopez is this Milwaukee team, and even fantasy owners. And he's another player under the radar where not many people will make it a big deal if they traded Lopez off their roster. So January 4th at the Spurs, 9 points, 4 boards, an assist, 3 blocks, a 3, 40% from the field. January 6th at Houston, 7 points, 5 rebounds, a 3, a steal, a block, 33% from the field. And January 8th versus the Jazz, 13 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks, 3 threes, 45% from the field. So Brook Lopez, a solid center, no doubt about it. Traditional center besides the 3-ball, which he's been really getting good at over the last few seasons. So right now, like I said, not many people are that high on Brook Lopez. And if you want to trade a guard where you got an abundance of them for Lopez, a center can help you out in shot blocking, 3-pointers, and scoring the basketball, I think he's a good buy this week. The next center I look to buy and trade for is Clint Capella of the Atlanta Hawks. Clint Capella, another guy not getting a lot of respect in fantasy circles or even in the NBA, where you see a lot of people saying his best years are behind him. He really can't contribute to a team, but I still think Capella puts up numbers, and he's an efficient center as well on the season. 11.6 points a game, 10.8 rebounds, 1.1 assists, 1.7 blocks, and 58% from the field. So Capella, he's a walking double-double, one of the better rebounders in the league. In the last couple weeks, 10.2 points a game, 11.2 boards, 1.2 assists, 1.7 blocks, and 52% from the field. So there's a possibility he definitely could get traded towards the NBA trade deadline, is Clint Capella, because this Hawk team, they're trying to make changes, and their team really hasn't been clicking this season here. So Capella, like I said, he could block shots, he could rebound, and he's another player, in my opinion, under the radar where not many people value centers as much in fantasy basketball. But like I said, he could bring you 3-4 categories right off the bat: rebounding, shot blocking, field goal percentage, and even scoring for a big man at the center position. January 3rd versus the Thunder, 12 points, 14 rebounds, 3 blocks in that one, 62% from the field. January 5th at the Pacers, 9 points, 7 boards, a block, 44% from the field. And January 7th at the Magic, 4 points, 12 boards, 3 steals, 2 blocks, 33% from the field. So I think Clint Capella can help fantasy owners, no doubt about it. If you need rebounding, shot blocking, and you could give up a little bit of scoring in a deal, I think you could get Clint Capella pretty easily for a middle-of-the-pack type of guard or forward in a deal. So right now, Capella is still putting up numbers, and even if it's traded, it doesn't matter. As long as he's healthy, he's a player that goes out there, and he's always been a good rebounder and shot blocker, and he's a buy for me this week in the third and final center I look to buy and trade for this week. Walker Kessler of the Utah Jazz. So Walker Kessler, it was a good season for him last year in terms of rebounding the basketball and being efficient for fantasy owners as well, with the shot blocking and his field goal. But the numbers this season a little bit had dropped off. On the year, 8.8 points a game, 7.9 rebounds, 2.6 blocks, and 63% from the field. So Walker Kessler, he's going to bring shot blocking, he's going to bring rebounding, and very efficient as well with a lot of putback dunks and layups. Last few games here for Kessler, the numbers have dropped off just a bit. January 5th at Boston, 4.7 rebounds, 66% from the field. January 6th at Philly, 10 points, 4 rebounds, a steal, 100% from the field. Then January 8th at the Bucks, 8 points, 6 rebounds, a steal, 2 blocks, 75% from the field. So like I said, he could bring you those good categories. Traditional center as well as Walker Kessler. Shot blocking, rebounding, and good field goal percentage, doing the dirty work underneath and getting those putbacks like I mentioned. So right now, like I said, if you got guards as well on your roster or forward that you have room to trade off your team, I think Walker Kessler can help you in those shot blocking, obviously, in these category leagues. He's going to help you field goal percentage where you don't take a lot of shots, obviously, but a guy shooting over 60% is always a plus in my opinion, and he'll get you 8 to 9 points per game. So right now, while Kessler he's not crazy on the radar, and he's not a player teams will really look to hold on to. So if you need a center, he's a good buy this week. So that's a few centers I look to buy and trade for Week 12 of the fantasy basketball season.